Welcome back to Land House. Over the past year, I've had the opportunity to work with a really great company, and they make the Wowtac flashlights. This is the headlamp that I take camping and use around the house all the time. Great product. They have sent a new flashlight. It's the BSS version 3, and I thought I would open this up and show you what's inside. This is the fourth Wowtac light that I have tested, and they are all still going strong. My dad uses one, and my brother-in-law uses one, and they love them. So I'm very happy with this company. So in the box, you've got the light itself. We'll go over its features in just a moment. A charging cable here, because this uses an 18650, I believe, battery. We'll get into that. Has a clip that we'll try out. Comes with some extra rings for the battery. If you wear down the access to the middle, you can use more rings. And then it has a red light, which shows up blue here on the camera, but we'll get into that too. Okay, let's start off with the light here. It's considered a self-defense light, and it has this really sharp front here. It's kind of serrated. I definitely would not want to be poked with that. Certainly not condoning violence, just showing its features. That's removable if you want to keep this in a pocket without that poking you. It has two buttons. The back button is just the on button, as you can see, and the side button here is the mode. So low, high, medium, like that. Now if I hold this button down, it goes into seizure mode. It blinks crazy fast. So we'll test out these settings in the dark here in just a moment. Let's take a look at the battery. It's the 18650 battery. Now this one has a USB charging port here on the top of the battery, and that means you can just plug this into any USB and charge this battery. Now you might be wondering, will this work with a standard 18650? And that's actually what I have currently in the headlamp. So this does not have that top charging port, and you can see the battery is a little bit shorter there, and yes, it will fit. So let's plop that in there, screw that down, and there you go, working just fine. Let's put this back in here. Now you can buy these replacement batteries from the Wowtac site. Now if you hold the button down just slightly, it will turn on. You don't actually have to click it. I know some people like that feature. Now we removed the piece here, the very sharp self-defense piece. Let's replace that with this red here. The red is supposed to be used for, say, hunting when you don't have or when you need to worry about your night vision being compromised by the light being on. So that just screws on the front, and as you can see, it supplies a very bright red light. So we'll also look at that in the dark here in just a moment. Let's test out the clip and see how it does. Oh, that's a good clip so far. Okay, man, that's a good clip. That is not coming off of there. Nice. So I'm sure you'd have to push these tabs here on the back to really pop that off. Yeah, ooh, okay. So that's gonna stay on there. Yeah, now I know some flashlights, the clip is pitiful, and that clip is not. It's not going anywhere. Nice, I like that. Okay, it's pitch black outside. I'm going to turn off the light here in the shop, and we're going to see how well this works in here. There's one light, and as you can see, my camera does a pretty good job at adjusting the light, but here we go. Okay, so there is, let's see what setting that is. Alright, there's the low setting. It's still pretty bright. Oh, no, wait, there we go. That's the low setting. So there's the lowest, and there's the highest. Now my camera is adjusting, so what I see in person is a little bit brighter than what you've got. So that's medium, and that's low. Nice. Okay, watch out, here comes strobe. Whoo, boy. Okay, enough of that. All right, lights back on. Okay, let's test out the red light here. I'm just going to screw that on and go ahead and click this thing on. I'm going to turn off the light and we'll see how well this does. All right, very cool. If you're looking to film a horror film, this is what you're going to want right here. But it definitely is less painful to the eyes to be swapping this back and forth. Oh, the dogs hear something. So let's see. Low light, and then back to high. Very cool. I mean, as you can see, that is supplying a lot of nice light. And what I like is it's pretty consistent. In person, it doesn't have that yellowish color that you're seeing. It's just a solid red, so it's just a difference in what my camera is filming. Let's step outside here where it's dark and see how well this light travels. It's working well in the cold. It's been in my shop all day and it's been below freezing for most of the day. So we've spotted something. Very cool. So it's definitely picking up a long ways there. Let's see if we can see the tiny house even. What setting are we on here? I removed the red light and look at that. That is a powerful flashlight. Man, that is so bright. Yeah, the tiny house is way over there, so it's doing really well. Well, very cool. I'm pleased with the power of this thing. It certainly does reach a long ways. Now I noticed a pretty significant decrease in light by using this little red filter. But I guess that's just the price you pay for having that. Let's run through a couple of the numbers real quick. Lumens, 22 lumens on low, and 208 for medium, and 1050 for the high. The time that it'll run on the battery at full charge, 2.5 days on low. That's incredible. And I have found that to be true. When I went camping last time, we camped for 2 days or 2 nights. And I used the Firefly setting on this one, which is even better than low. And it runs forever, so it's great. 8 hours on medium and 2.7 hours on the high setting, 2.7 on strobe as well. Let's see. Distance says 220 meters max. I think over to the tiny house, that is somewhere around probably 75 meters, something like that. So, you know, half of what it can really do. 1 meter drop resistance. I'm not going to drop this one, but I have dropped 2 of the other Wowtac lights that I have used. And got a little scuff one time when I dropped it on a rock, but the light still works just fine. And it has an IPX7, which is a 1 meter water resistance. I've also, I think it was this one, I set in a bucket of water for about 5 minutes while it was on, and it works just fine. Now this thing on high will get hot. I have noticed that for sure, that if you're holding it in the hand, after 10 minutes or so, you're like, whew, it's hot. So my first impression of this light, I'm not used to seeing these sharp points here on the front. I would probably use it without that because I like to keep this in a pack or in a pocket. The brightness settings are great. The low setting, I mean, 2 days, that's a long time. So if you're needing to have an emergency flashlight in a car, perfect. You're gonna have this in there and it's gonna work for a long time. And like I said, I've used several other Wowtac products and I'm really impressed with them. So if you wanna check out this light, I have a link to their pages down below and you should just go check it out and see what you think. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.